system, because if it was buffered previously, then we don't know what time that occurred. But if it downloads it to the programmer, then that's the time that is listed here. So this time is useful if you keep this AudioShare Programmer running in listening mode and then have it do something on the system. Then it will list the time. The next column is the from address. This will tell you which station sent this packet. And the next column over 2, that's the station that it was sending it to. Now, if there's a 0 listed, that is usually what we call a broadcast. That is sending to all stations on the system. If it has an actual address, like the 32 that is listed here, that is telling that is what the destination address was for that packet. The next column over is the command. This is a command code that tells the AudioShare system, how to do certain things and what to do. And so, obviously, in this particular case, we had a command 4 and a command 38 that have come through. And then the next column over will tell us what the body size of the packet was for any data that is supporting that command. And then the next columns over are a dynamic in size. They will vary depending on what the command was and what communication needed to occur there. But you can see, in fact, you just saw a packet come in now, and you can see how the time is reflective of the current time now. But anyway, just to kind of keep this simple, the packet sniffing here can be saved by going to the File and Pull Down menu, and you can select the Save As, and this will allow you to save what we call an AudioShare packet data, or an APD file, to your desktop. That then can be emailed to AudioShare support and can be useful in helping to troubleshoot some problems. Anyway, let's move to the next mode, and that is the programming mode. So if I select the program mode, this will allow us to open a troubleshooting, or a software file. I apologize. So for example, I could have on here I could have received a program file from AudioShare for the 201, and when I open that file up, it will tell me some information about it. For example, what its major, minor, and build versions are for that file, as well as the build date and time that it was created. It's also important to note that it should list on there what the program is for. So for example, if this was a 101 program, it would tell you 101 wall station software. If it was for a door station, it would tell you that. If it was for a control relay module, it would tell you that. So it's safe to at least know what it is that you should be programming at that time. So just note what it is there. It'll also list the serial number of that software in the owner information. There's also a product key that will always come with the program or with the software update. So all you need to do is just list it, and so I will enter that in here. You'll notice as we're entering this in, the program button on the bottom right is grayed out. That will be grayed out until the correct product key is entered. So anyway, I'll finish entering this key in, and you'll notice as soon as I enter it in, the program button is now activated. The last thing to note on this dialog is the enabled features. There's different features that can be turned on with the AudioShare software. These really aren't anything that will be different for some of these newer versions of the software going out. These might change in the future. But the only one to really make notice of is the number of media buses. If you're doing a retrofit on an AudioShare system that is using a minimal number of wires, then it is possible that you won't be able to have full capacity to have 2 media buses in that wiring architecture. In that case, you want to make sure that you are running 1 media bus instead of 2, and that will be covered in a different video, but in this particular case, that's just informational for you to know. Anyway, once the product key has been entered in, as I have done here, you can press the program button and it will bring up the actual programming dialog. This is a dialog that will tell you the status and the progress of the programming for that device. And all you need to do is push the Start Programming button, and what it will do is actually start programming the system. It should give you an elapsed time as well as the progress bar of it programming. You'll notice that in the middle there is a thing here called page. These are the data pages that are written to the actual device. This number that appears will also appear on the wall stations as they're being programmed, and it's a good best practice if you're programming the system to go to each of the AudioShare devices and make sure that, if it's a wall station, for example, it will display that same number on the screen as it's programming. So you want to make sure that the wall stations are all showing that they're getting updated as you're programming. If it's a door station, it will only show a flashing light. It will toggle on and off in half-second increments. And if it's a control relay module or a CRM, the LED indicator will also flash, very similar to how the door station will. But anyway, this will continue to program until the entire program is updated, and then it will send a reset command to the device and tell it to reset, in which case it will start running the new software at that time. Now, another important status indicator is this resend count. This in a properly communicating AudioShare system, you'll probably never see that resend count increment, but it is possible that due to noise or some type of interference during the programming, that a data page was not written correctly. In that case, the device that is having the trouble will send a request back to the programmer to get that page resent, and that's when that resend count will increment. If you've got an abnormally high number of resend counts, I would define abnormally high to be somewhere between 10 or more during programming, then you probably have a communication problem on your system, and you'll probably want to double check the wiring or make sure that things are communicating properly on that system before you continue. If there is a power outage or there's some type of communication problem during programming, the wall stations will reboot and tell you on the screen that there is a programming failure. That is normal. Don't be surprised. If that happens, all you need to do is go back into the programmer here and tell it to reprogram, and it will pick up where it left off and start programming again. So anyway, once it's done in programming, you'll notice that it says programming complete, resetting system, in which case the system will be rebooted and the new software will begin running.